Welcome to InnoVision, the world's first software solution dedicated to corporate development. For the next few minutes, I will demonstrate many of the key attributes of InnoVision that will help you control your productivity, your accuracy, your team's efficiency, overall accountability, and help you ensure success with your due diligence in corporate development projects. Let's start where it all begins. Deal sourcing. Opportunities are often initiated by business leaders, executives, bankers, and of course, all of your dedicated efforts. This collection of information, however, is rarely provided in a standard or complete format. You need to collect a lot of data, you need to make decisions. InnoVision provides a convenient and single location to keep this extremely sensitive information safe and secure. Here you can see 14 sample opportunities sorted by business unit for clarity and focus. You can see both the number of opportunities by business, but also an aggregate of the revenue as a proxy for size. While a lot of this information may come directly from the seller or your efforts, a key attribute of InnoVision is the ability to use public data sources as well. If I go to Business and Financial, I can show you in summary where we can pull information directly from our online data source, which is Edgar Online. In this particular case, I'm going to go to pull this information down. It's going to happen very quickly. I'll grab the Edgar Online data. It's going to go out, make an actual call to the online system, import that information, bring it into our system. And in addition to the other financial information that's been collected, I can look at this very specifically, and you'll see both income and balance sheet information provided by Edgar Online. It does not need to be Edgar Online. It could be any resource that you, in fact, license or that has an addressable API. The key here is that this allows for fast, efficient, and 100% accurate importing of information in for your validation purposes. But let's dive a bit deeper and look at Zephyr 2 and see what's really going on with this data. First thing you notice is an executive summary which shows the key attributes of the deal and presents this in a single consolidated format. These summaries are highly customizable and they're built to allow you to create presentations for leadership for decision making. When we dig into actions, what you'll start to see are the details associated with this. This transaction information collects and aggregates information from Outlook, from your email systems, from your calendar systems, and puts it all in one convenient place. Not only for you and your team members, but other people that are involved in this transaction as well. Here what you'll see are key decisions, things like approvals, with decisions, with documents that show approvals and signatures. You may have calls and meetings, you may have action items that have been assigned to people, even emails to and from the seller can be all stored in one place. This also gives you the ability to look at these on a calendar. Simply stated, the chronological view can be extremely important sometimes to really understand what's happening. When I look at the overall information, it also gives me the ability to really see and understand what perspective it is and who owns the activity associated with this. When you do make a decision to move to diligence, this is one of the biggest steps forward. Diligence activity is generally marked by ballooning in size and scope. You'll have a lot of new people involved. You have a number of people that maybe haven't done this before. Today you use Excel spreadsheets to manage this task and send things around with email. Let me show you a much easier, faster, and more secure way to do so. We do start with the checklist the same as you would in Excel. Here we have a number of basic lists to start from, or you can use your own. These lists become the templates for future projects. The list that I have on the screen now shows 140 records or 115 questions overall. They're broken down by teams, and as I dive into teams I can look at corporate, and you'll see the corporate team has 10 sets of questions. Now this is a brand new activity. It hasn't been started yet, so you don't see a lot of data. But what I have done though is I've started to link this to make this link it to the data sources to make it valid and highly efficient for the users. So I'm going to dive one more time into indebtedness, and what you'll see in indebtedness is a couple things. First and foremost, you see the ability, the budget question. I can also open it up to show a description. Inside this, I can have things like checkbox items, detailed descriptions, as much information as you need to be able to provide to your users to help them understand what it is that they need to do. The second thing is this VDR index. Specific to the VDR index, I still have the ability now to link the virtual data room index directly to my questions. And it's very simple and very straightforward. This checklist item here, budget, now allows me to be able to add specific items. What I've done here, and what you'll see in just a moment, is this is an index that was imported from a seller. This index came from Intralinks as an example. We don't care about which data room you use. If I want to add audited financial statements, for example, we're missing number 2, I can click on number 2. By adding this information, saving it, I've now connected those dots, so that information is now available to my user. I have review status, notes and findings, and so on and so forth. But let me jump into what this looks like from a user's perspective, because this is really one of the most important characteristics. Your diligence users need your help. They need to understand what they need to do, and they need to be provided an environment that makes it as easy as possible for them to provide you with the information you need in the time you need it and the format you need it. What I'm showing now is Gmail. Gmail is a very simple email mechanism. This doesn't have to be Gmail. It can be Outlook. It can be Lotus Notes. It can be whatever email system you use. I do have an email that came from my head, Manuel Sanchez, that says, please update your due diligence activities by Thursday. The email itself contains literally no important information. It's important to note that I will still be required to authenticate. Now, we've skipped the authentication to keep the demo short. By doing so, I'm presented now with what's called an iMemo. And you'll notice on this iMemo, the user now has everything they need to be productive. I have everything from the question. I have the ability to show the details of the description. I also have these index links. So if I'm going to answer the question about the index link, what I may need to do is grab this document from Intralinks. So I click on this document, and up comes the information from Intralinks. I can click on a scoring credit report here, which is our internal documentation that I want to be able to verify and validate against. I'll bring that document in. Those informations are coming from different data sources, but they are linked for my benefit, for the user's benefit. And now I can look at the information in one place at one time. And simply stated, this gives me a really rapid way of being able to pull this information together. I can now come into this system. I can change its status. I can change the notes and findings. I can do what I need to make sure that that information is valid and updated all in one place, all at one time, saving the user an enormous amount of time and providing you with an audit trail to know which information they looked at. All of this is happening in real time. All this is happening in multiple users presenting information back and forth at the same time, which presents you now with a progress chart. This simple progress chart shows by status all of that activity, those 115 records. Those 115 questions are being asked and now being answered. Some have been completed, some haven't been started. Very quickly, as a manager, I can come in and look at those that are incorrect. I can look at those that are incomplete. I can identify which ones they are. I can identify who owns those tasks. Again, the core value proposition for Vision is the ability for you to aggregate this information through this process in a live and real-time manner, making all of your people significantly more productive. But this is just a glance of Vision. If your organization is evaluating inorganic growth strategies, we think you owe it to yourself to be properly armed for battle. You know your competition will be. You need to have the best tools for the job, and that's Vision. So contact us at eno.com for additional details. We'd be happy to schedule time and show you more about how this can apply specific to your business. Thank you.